couldn't believe the value I got. I locked it in. It's Leverkusen versus Leipzig. Leverkusen plus 205. Remember the start of the season, doesn't matter who they were playing, Leverkusen, they would have been at plus 100. Now all of a sudden, the freight train that is RB Leipzig winning home and away in Europe, in Bundesliga, plus 125. Is that not just, that's the end of the conversation? I mean, I look in and thinking, well, I see Leipzig scoring twice. So is that a don't complicate it, Kev, of minus 110? Or we're going over 3 at plus 105. Both teams to score. It's just throw everything in, and you could do 3 or 4 bets, and you could actually hit all 3 or all 4 in the same game.
I think you just go goals here. Because if you look at the big hitters when they've met in the Bundesliga this season, there have been goals in almost every game. So Leverkusen lost 5-1 at home to Bayern. When they played Dortmund, there were 7 goals in each match. When these two last met, Leverkusen won 3-1 in Leipzig. Different Leipzig, but still the truth. Leipzig have recently won 4-1 at Dortmund. They lost 3-2 at Bayern. They lost 4-1 at home to Bayern. So every time the big hitters meet, you get loads of goals. Leipzig, I think, will attack. They'll play the game that they always play. I think they'll make some changes. And Leverkusen aren't quite the force they were because their best player, Florian Wirtz, is injured. Jeremy Frimpong, who's a fantastic outlet down that right-hand side, is injured as well. So that's been a big problem for them. But I just think both will go for it. I think this is going to be a really exciting game, actually.
Any hangover, though, Kev, for Leipzig because they went to Atlanta? Because, like on paper, they had a tough game. But if you actually watch the game, they sucked Atlanta in and did as they liked. I mean, that back four hardly broke sweat because they said, come on, and then just give it.
I think because the squad's so good, they can get away with it. So I could see them changing 4 or 5 players and still being okay. So I think they're in a really good place right now because the coach has done a brilliant job. And Kunku's been sensational. 30 goals in all competitions now.
I mean, Asher has paid her mortgage every game. It's like Nkunku to score at any time. Bang.
Yeah, and I do think the market this season's been ever so slow with that.
Very.
I tipped him up in midweek to score against Atalanta, and
Plus
he was 3.1.
What, 3.1 any time?
Yeah, 3.1 any time.
I mean, there's a value now for any time. It's replaced the old style and the old methods of first goal scorer.
Yeah, well,
it's just crazy.
Jared Bowen for West Ham against Lyon on Thursday night was 4.3. So you massive prices.
I've erased Thursday night from my memory, Kev.
If you fancy these guys who are in form, it's the way to go. I genuinely believe it's the way to go. I always think first goal scorer is a tough one because you're really hemming yourself in there and you get a bigger price. But I just think, well, actually, if you're pretty confident a player's going to play either the full 90 or at least most of the game, and the team's on top and scoring goals and he's scoring goals, then I always think you're going to get a decent price with that. So I wouldn't go near the result personally because I don't really know where Leverkusen are at right now because they're probably going to get the Champions League spot unless something goes horribly wrong. But they've lost some key players and they've just taken a bit of a psychological knock in that way. They drew 0-0 with Bochum. A game they maybe, should have done better in. So I just think goals here, like as all the big games between the top clubs have been this season.
Yeah, I see Leipzig maybe doing the job exactly the same as they did with Dortmund. I see identical, but maybe not as easy as the 4-1. But when I'm seeing Leipzig to score twice and in the form they're in, home or away, at minus 110, I was like, Alex, surely Leipzig scored twice. And I don't care then if Leverkusen win 4-2.
No, but it's very important for Leverkusen. Yeah, they could easily finish in top 3. They are one of the favorites to do that. But let's not forget that they have 3 matches against from the last 5 rounds against teams that are competing with for the top 4 spots. They have with Leipzig, they have with Freiburg, they have with Hoffenheim. So it's very important. Even this match is very important for them. On paper, by far, RB Leipzig is better right now in the form that they are. In Kunku, we named him 30 goals this season and two goals against Atalanta. Amazing. Tedesco impact is undeniable since replacing March. He has 2.2 points per game in the last 15 Bundesliga matches. So that is huge. But let's not forget also that Leverkusen are without Tah, Belarabi, Adli, Fosumen Sak, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, and okay, Patrick Schick is back, but let's not forget that Patrick Schick missed 7 games, and he's still the second top scorer in the Bundesliga behind Robert Lewandowski, and the third one is exactly Nkunku. It's a fight here with Diaby versus Nkunku, if you remember the former players of PSG. Diaby started to deliver many assists for Leverkusen, and that is his main job right now in that team. He's very creative. He has a great pace. I think that this game has goals all over it, but I wouldn't take anyone of RB Leipzig PK at minus 145. I don't think that they lose this game. And exactly like you said, RB Leipzig to score twice, at least twice on their own. But over 3 goals at plus money, Alex Classic at minus 110. I think that everything is on the cards here. I would even go with both teams to score in both halves at plus 500.
It's amazing. I mean, again, if you just wanted to go on the basis of what we've seen from Leverkusen and the situation they're in against this runaway train, Kev, of Leipzig, there'll be people that are just seeing the plus 125 and going, what am I missing? Because they did not have a hard game in Atalanta in midweek. So it's crazy. Let's have a little look at the officials. This is a great game to watch, by the way. So make sure you do enjoy it, because we've all got, listen, over 3 plus 105, over 3 plus 105. For me, it's just Leipzig to score twice at minus 110.